You say we're good? Thanks so much. We are live. We are back in the Printiverse. Hello, everybody. How's your day 3 been? Yeah? Good day? Good day 3? This is our last panel of the day, which might be suited because it's finishing. And I have to say, I want to preface this panel by saying that every year I send out a survey to print buyers, and I ask them about the things that they care about. And this year, it was about quality, color, and consistency. And when I asked them what was the #1 reason they rejected jobs, the answer was not color. It was not matching their logos. It was finishing. Finishing is the easiest thing to spot. I go crazy if my stuff is not trimmed correctly. I literally lose my mind if my print is not centered in my business card. I have crop marks. They're there for a reason. I just don't get it. So, I mean, that's the simplest example. But everything scoring and folding, if that's not done correctly, and gluing, and the foil coming off, and it just, it makes so much of a difference at the end product, the whole process. So this is an important topic to me, and it is an important topic to the print chatters, because that's where the Printiverse panels topics come from. I host a print chat every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. I asked the community for the topics they were interested. From that, I formulated the topic questions, and then I went back and asked them what they would, the topic subjects, and then I went back and asked what they would ask a panel of finishing experts, and here you are. So let's start off with Adfos. John, who are you, what do you do, and how are you helping your customers make money?
So my name is John Palazzolo. I'm Director of Marketing and Sales for Adfos North America. And what we do is we dry and cure a lot of different papers and involved in processes. As you know, in the printing processes and finishing, there's a lot of thermal activity that takes place. If you're inkjetting, you have to dry the inkjet. If you're putting down a cold adhesive, you've got to dry that cold adhesive. So with the Adfos technology, what we do is we dry, we cure the material that needs to be dried and cured without affecting the substrate. So at the end of the day, particularly with inkjet, you're putting a lot of water on the paper. You got to get that water off of the paper, and so that your paper is not destroyed. So at the end of the day, our processes make the paper and everything work through the finishing process much, much better.
So is drying part of the finishing process, or is it enable the finishing process?
Yes.
Okay.
Depending on where they're doing the finishing. Sometimes it will be, on a folder or as a part of the finishing process. Sometimes it will be a part of the printing process, so that we enable finer and better finishing. So both, just depending on where they're doing it.
Thanks so much. Next we have Ellen Foylisha Manning from the Foil Experts Ecosystems.
Hi there, Ellen Manning. My process is to apply foil inline on an offset press. So the best thing about this is you're using one color foil. You are avoiding a second process because it's actually put down. It's put down with silver, and then it's overprinted as it goes through the press, creating all different color foils. So when you talk about finishing, you're done by the time it's printed, instead of sending it to another process. And you don't have to order multiple color foils. You just change the color with ink on top of the foil. It's a very great process and enable the packaging industry to really up their game and make it pizzazz.
Thanks so much. Kent from Fastbind, who's from Southern Florida. So let's give him a round of applause for making it to the show. And glad that your shop is okay, even though your office, my apologies, your office is okay, minus the electricity, and everyone out down there is okay. Shout out to Douglas, my favorite. Please, Fastbind. Who are you, what do you do, and how are you helping customers make money?
Great. My name is Kent Alzell. I'm the president of Fastbind USA. We manufacture and distribute binding systems and supplies. case makers, perfect binders, photo book binders, album binders. Our main goal, beside helping our customer base decide on which platform to go with, is to enable them with knowledge and give them supplies, pieces, things, and training so that they can take the print that they have and package it in a way that their customers find value. The most important thing that you can do once you've printed the product is add value to it so the customers will both see it and be able to use it in their businesses. So we offer case making systems for hardcovers, customized products, 3-ring binders, CD cases, different types of auxiliary products that you can do with your print, along with traditional commercial print books, whether soft covers and hardcovers for yearbooks or technical manuals and such. So we offer the machines, we offer the supplies, but we offer the knowledge and experience to use those and make money in their environments.
I mean, you guys really are the experts in the tabletop binding business. And did you mention the per Eva thing?
Yes, and thank you very much for the compliment.
Yeah. I like it because it's
we-
easy. I mean, I made a book over there. It's not difficult. If I can do it, anyone could do it, and everyone should be making photo books. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'll kind of finish here with what you brought up with the PUR. If you walk around this show and you get online, you're going to see now an awful lot of talk about PUR glue. And I won't go into the technical aspects, but it is important for someone who is looking at binding, especially perfect binding, to discuss within their team whether they should or should not use PUR. There's some great advantages, but there's some drawbacks to it in the way that it's used and how long it takes and the costs involved. But you need to have that discussion so that you don't come back 5 or 9 months from now and say, wow, we made a mistake, we should have done something else. So read about it, learn about it, and ask the vendors about their products. And if you have any questions, please come by and see us.
Yes, ask Fastbind. Sean from Motion Cutter.
Thank you, Deborah. My name's Sean Stanley. I'm the Global Sales Manager and one of the founding partners of Motion Cutter. We make a digital high-speed laser system. I come from a place where we were printers, originally offset, then we went into digital press, and we saw our margins being cut in one market and then the next market. And so we were working out how we can, one, stay afloat as a business and how we can make more money. And the only way we could see that was with finishing. So we created our own finishing system, our digital laser system, so that we could not only streamline our workflow in finishing by being able to cut everything, perforate everything, do kiss cutting of labels, do short run boxes and things like that without having to spend money out on dyes and spend time at the guillotine and things like that. But also to be able to make new products, new and exciting products, to think of print just not in the actual printing of the design, but the second dimension in actually cutting it as well. Being able to do personalized pieces, variable data finishing, so every single sheet can be cut differently in personalization. And that's pretty much where we come from.
Thank you so much. Pitney Bowes.
Hi.
We've never had you here before, have we?
No.
You're new. We like new people.
All right. So, Eddie Adele, I'm the Vice President of Product Management for Pitney Bowes. And yes, I'm French, so the accent is real. And so what do we do? What do we do? Well, innovation is important for Pitney Bowes. We're trying to reinvent to invent new solutions, just to do several things. In fact, a big focus in our industry is pricing, margin. Everyone wants to buy, kind of the do-it-all solution for the lowest price point possible with the greatest performance possible. It's true for some of our shipping solution. It's true for the big inserters as well. So we have. We're making a point to come up to the market with new solutions that's going to allow our clients to better utilize their assets. So I'm going to take for example, the example of the SandPro solution. If you look at our meters, before they were meters, now they're seen as being a shipping station. So people want to have a device to ship with UPS, DHL, USPS. They don't want to worry too much about the finishing system that's going to apply the postage meter, the value of the postage on the letter. Now everyone wants to be free to choose whomever they want to choose. So we do a lot of innovation on the meter side, but also on the finishing, the core finishing, which is where I come from. We did several innovations like the Epic, where the goal was to better the TCO, improve the ROI, and kind of create a work cell that would be universal. I hate when a client said, I've got that application and I cannot run it. So we made a point, in fact, to look at all the different, what happened 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after it's come in our work cell, what is being run on the other equipment that are not PrintMedia's labeled, and try to bring that in our work cell just to allow clients to leverage the asset for their core and also bring some more stuff that they were doing offline or in a different manner.
Thank you so much. Carl from Mo Brothers, B&R Mo Bros. I call them the Mo Bros.
Thank you. I'm Carl DeGar. I am a West Coast technical sales manager.
Can you guys hear him back there? No. Louder.
Can you
please.
hear me better now? Okay, good. I'm Carl DeGar with the West Coast. I'm a technical sales manager for B&R Mall now for at least the last 2 years. I've been in the industry for over 20 plus, specializing in finish folding, specialty finishing for bookbinding, folding, gluing, cutting, for commercial print, presentation material. Also now focusing on package folding, gluing. We've evolved with a lot of our printers and finishers to accommodate us, helping them keep their presses running. Looking at different formats to say, look, bookbinding is not as busy as it used to be, so how can we maximize the other pieces of equipment in the factory? And we've been doing quite a bit of focusing on that and coming into the market with some of our equipment that's already pre-existing, and with some of the changes, we're able to accommodate those new package folding, gluing for the packaging industry, along with still maintaining a high level of satisfaction with the commercial presentation material that you see every day. Goes back to one of the things that you brought up at the beginning about pieces getting rejected because it's not finished. All that work, and we still see there's always some compromise on the finishing. It's the last piece, the last part, it gets bumped till the very end. For example, that's where I'm sitting, the very end, and it comes to me. So it comes to the point of, can we finish it properly? You need to invest properly. And I think it's the first thing your customer sees, even though it's the last thing you do.
Thank you so much. Okay, the next question, as I mentioned, I crowdsourced the questions from the community, and the print chatters were really focused on standing out as the most enticing aspect of finishing for them, and that was standing out them from their own competition, and then helping their clients stand out from their own competition or their own competitors, or whatever that might be. So with standing out in mind, what is the shelf appeal of doing business with you, and how do your products and services help your customers stand out? Johnny P? Adfos.
Thank you, Deborah. So I guess the best thing to do is to give you a personal story. So we had a customer in Europe, and they were a book producer. So they were doing quite a bit of, obviously, finishing of the book. They were inkjetting the book, and then they needed to finish it. They were using an inkjet process to do that. So what they ended up doing was using our drying technology to dry their inkjet. So that gave them two things. First, it enabled them to finish in their bookbinding process much, much faster. So they had less stoppages, less issues, about 30%. They actually reduced their spoilage by 30%. And then the best part is, so again, as I mentioned, you're putting a lot of ink on paper. Ink and paper do not mate well. So what they were getting now was much, much flatter books. So they were used to having a wave in their book, and now they got much, much better books. So they got much happier customers, much better throughput, and 30% less spoilage.
Thank you so much. Ellen, What is the shelf appeal of doing business with Eagle? And
Well-
how do you help your customers stand out?
Most of our customers are packaging houses, and their clients are the big brands who sell their products in stores. And what they want is to have a package that will capture the attention of somebody walking down an aisle. Now, of course, people know certain brands and they buy them just because they know the brand, but packaging makes all the difference. If you are walking down an aisle and you see something that captures your eye, you will pick it up. And they have done studies that show that people walking and looking at packaging are always attracted to shiny, foiled packages. And if you put two packages that have exactly the same product in them, and one is foiled and one is not, they're going to pick up the foiled package first. This is a known thing. They've done all sorts of testing. They've even had people walking down aisles with these special glasses made with little cameras in the side so that they could actually find out what they are looking at. It was always the foiled product. So because of that, the foil that we provide our customers is done in line. So when the package gets printed, at the end of the printing process, it's already foiled. And cold foil has a little bit of glittery look to it. So as you walk anywhere, it will sparkle, whether it be a label on a bottle, on a liquor bottle, on a cosmetic case, on anything that would be on the shelf. Foil is a huge enhancement. And I would say in the past 3 years, foil has made a huge, huge, huge comeback, whether it be in my kind of cold foil inline, whether it be digital, everything is foil now.
Thank you so much, Kent. I mean, I could answer for you and say your knowledge is the shelf appeal of doing business with you, but you go ahead and answer for yourself.
Thank you very much. So if you think about our world, we're helping our clients move through a difficult process. Books, as everyone here doesn't want to say but knows, are going down and down and down. Like any industry, we're in a transition period and we're moving to where there is business. So traditional books and book printing houses and binding operations are all getting less and less work, but we are seeing a growth in the specialized product, in the photo book area, in the imaging area. We are seeing actual growth in that sector. So what we're doing is helping our clients transition. There's really 3 levels. The first level is customization. Now, personalization has been around for many, many years now, and being able to identify who you're talking to and make something very personal for them. But in the book industry, it really is a one-to-one option. I want to be able to customize this product for this client down to a single cover. And our products enable them to do extremely short runs and customize them. Then the value we add to that is the ability to change that a little bit, make different options to, again, stand out like we just talked about here with the foil, and be different eye-catching. So what my job is, and my company's job is, to not only supply the customer with the right machines and knowledge, but also invigorate them with new pieces and supplies so they can then make it stand out even more. We just introduced print on leather. So if you have a solvent or a latex printer, you can now print directly onto white leather, and now you don't have to stock 35 different colors. You can print not only the color, but of course a graphic into it. So now you can make that product a little bit nicer, appeal to a higher end customer, and create a new profit level. If you look at a line of products we just introduced, we're adding actually screens into the photo book. So now you have a video screen that can play the video or
All right, you showed me a D-scoop.
That's
That
right.
was very cool.
That's right, and in pictures while you're looking at the book. Again, to add value to the product that you're already making, to enhance the ability to grab the attention of the customers. Sometimes they won't actually buy that book, but they'll think that you're really good and you're really innovative, and they'll do
Right.
other business with you.
Right, they'll think of you as a resource, as a thought leader, and they'll come back to hear what you have to say and stick around until, I always say a sale is when a need and a relationship meet. So you lay the groundwork.
Absolutely.
Sean, what is the shelf appeal of doing business with you, you dapper Englishman, besides listening to your accent all day?
I was going to say, other than looking at me.
Yes.
I would say that the values of working with us are, we're able to offer things that you can't currently offer. So things like engraving, we can engrave the ink off a sheet of paper. Now this gives a beautiful effect. It's a decorative piece, it's a value add. We can also personalize every single sheet. Again, it's a unique thing that you can only do with a laser system. We can also do all of the current die cutting and current work that you've already got going through in a very streamlined process. We can do short runs, mainly because our setup time is also very, very short. Once a sheet has been profiled, you can change over with just 4 buttons on a computer screen, and then you're running into the next job straight away. So the printer themselves are saving money immediately. You can also make money on doing this. These have a value, an added value. The word added value is often thrown around, and it means that the thing looks nicer, but are you making more money? And the value add should be to you as the printer.
You're right. That's a very good point. We always talk about just adding the value, but not if the printers are making money from it. So you're right.
Absolutely. So there are things that you can do. You can do same day or while you wait finishing. It just can go straight through the printer, and you've got a finished product within seconds. Our laser system can go up to 8,000 sheets an hour through it. So, running 10, 50, 100 sheets for a customer is nothing. It's a minute or two. Also for their end customer, for the person who's buying the print from you, they get unique products. Every single one is different. There's no template-driven things here. This is whatever your imagination is. We can create it with a laser system. Again, the personalized products, we've had direct mails which have return rates over 43%. Because people have had their names cut out into it, or the skyline of their city cut across the top. It adds that extra dimension, and means that you're getting more money as well because they're getting such high return rates. There's a touch and a feel to the products as well, particularly when you engrave them. You can feel it. People touch them. Everyone comes to my booth and they touch everything because we put texture into what we're doing with the laser. And also, they can have on-demand. Because there's no setup, a setup can be 10 seconds. So they can ask for 50 of it today, and next week, rather than them storing it, they can ask for another 50. And there's no extra setup for it, and it's very easy for you. But of course, as a printer, you'll charge a margin for that, but you're having no extra cost for doing it. So I think that's how we're standing out on the shelf.
Thank you so much. Pitney Bowes, the shelf appeal of doing business with you, and how are your products and services helping your customers stand out? Do you actually offer finishing equipment? I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Sir, oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
I lost my mind there for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Of course,
the,
I know.
The little
All
trim,
the direct man stuff. I've been there.
The
Been
trim
to your-
mark you were talking about? Oh, yeah.
I've been there.
We do a
I've
lot
been
of
to your
trimming
place.
and
My
shredding.
apologies. You got a ton of it.
So how do we... we launched some solution in the DM space that some of the the largest direct mailers in the US decided to go with some Pitney Bowes product last year, and it's always a pleasure to hear, a customer validating what we've been saying for many years, and they're able to double the output they had in a work cell just because they went from a mid-speed inserter to the higher speed inserter, and this example we kind of repeat that worldwide, where clients are buying Pitney Bowes products and notice that the way we engineer the product allow them to increase their productivity and better the ROI. So I'm going to take the example of the PrintMediaCentr, for example, which is a color finishing system that is in line. We're using some of the AdFOS technology, by the way. These dryers that were described, they're to eliminate the water on the paper. They're very good at doing that on envelopes as well. And we do that in line. And that's one of the novelty, if you will. If you look at the solar business 20 years ago, that was a work cell. And then after 20 years after, the solar work is done in the IT environment, and it's merged. These two work cells have merged. The same is happening with print. So to answer a question, are we doing finishing? We're doing finishing a lot. And the PrintMediaCentr is a good example of this work cell merging, and this is through innovation. When we launched the Print Plus Messenger 7 years ago, everyone thought that was cool, but the inkjet technology was not out there. Now that the inkjet technology and the workflow are there, we see the Print Plus Messenger booming because you're solving a problem. You don't need to go with pre-printed envelope. And we can spend 2 hours going through some of the major enhancements we've done that have a major impact on the cost per million, on the work cell, on how the workflow is organized, just because it's a game changer. That's what we're trying to do, and we're trying to do that every year. Come and just wow our customers.
Thank you so much. B&R Mo Bros. And then Jamie, the printer, has a question.
Okay. Some of the things that set us apart from the rest is we have several things to consider. First of all, is speed. When you're looking at keeping up with your finishing, you're looking at making sure that everything can get out on time. The setup, the flexibility is another big factor. When you're looking at going from presentation material and then going into a package carton folder, you can definitely look at the changeovers being quicker, a little bit more nimble, faster, and also our equipment being able to integrate into additional pieces of machinery around the shop. We can roll up and separate our sections so we can maximize everything you've already purchased to be able to produce more complicated pieces if necessary, whether it's coming off of a stitcher, whether it's coming off of another folding machine, and integrate with others. We specialize in tipping applications, magnetic material, different plastic stocks for discount cards, pieces like that. Mating pieces together with certain limitations on the accuracy, but it's very tight placement, very, very common material you see during the holidays for any discount for department stores and so on. A couple of the other things that we do also specialize in is taping, capacity folds. When you're looking at boxes, for example, when you go into the store and you buy a box with the Avery Dennison labels and you say, wow, that's great, you take out 50 labels, and you look at that square box that's maybe 3/4 inch capacity, we convert that. One last note, almost any and everything that you see that's done automatically in your hand, from the doctor's office, from the insurance company, all the presentation material that you see, if it's ran automatically, it's more than likely ran on a mall machine. We've been doing it for 40 years, and there's still some of them out there that are running, and we love what we do. We answer the phone. We take care of our customers 100%.
Thank you so much. Not only do... Oh, you like that answer?
I got a fan.
Not only do we crowdsource the questions from the print chatters, we actually brought a print chatter here. This is Jamie McLennan. We'll be calling him Jamie the Printer. He works at Allegra Princeton. He has a one-stop print shop. He has a variety of equipment. He has no allegiance to anybody except helping his customers the best way he can. And Jamie, do you have a question for our panel?
Thanks, Deborah. Being a mid-sized print shop...
Can you talk louder?
Hello? Better?
Yes.
All right. Being a mid-sized print shop, we can handle a lot of things in-house, digital offset, large format. What should we be looking at? Special effects, finishing, things to wow our customers, things that we can bring back to them. What would you guys suggest, seeing what's in here, what you offer? What should we be looking at to do to step up our game?
If they're going to invest, what is the trends that they're supposed to be investing in and finishing?
I'll answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, there's never the right, perfect, instant answer, I'll tell you that right now, because we don't know what you want to do, what your customers are asking, and neither do you, unfortunately. What I would recommend is what you have in your shop, you look at what you evaluate, and this is a huge part of it, is if you say no to a job, make a note, keep a file of what you said no to, and put that aside. And when you come to the trade shows, you look at that no stack, and you go back and you see what you need to say yes to.
Amazing advice.
Okay?
I'm so stealing that. TM on that advice. It's happening. Yes, please, John.
The thing that I see that is, the reason why you're here, educating yourself, finding out what your customers are looking for, and again, being proactive. And what you were saying before, with the beautiful hair. Knowing specifically, the DMA. If you're in the direct mail business, finding out what the trends are, what's happening, so that you can educate your customers, so you can provide information for your customers because sometimes they don't even know the questions to ask. So, that's why you're here. Educate yourself and then also educate your customers.
Pitney Bowes?
Yeah, if I have an advice, it's similar to what you were saying. It's just add solution to your portfolio and don't go wild. I tell my team, think about 15 minutes. What happened 15 minutes before it's becoming a Pitney Bowes solution or problem to solve, and 15 minutes after. So extend your offering. Just looking at what, when you receive the print, why didn't you print that? When you receive the envelopes, if you do mailing, why didn't you produce the envelopes? If they're printed, why were you not printing them? And just expand your product portfolio.
Motion cutter and then Eagle, for sure.
Well, I think the current trend is laser cutting.
Of course. He's not kidding though, he's right.
Yeah, you'll see more and more of them coming now to the trade shows. I think it's because everybody looks at laser cutting as being the fancy cutting. They see that, the fancy greetings cards, that's what it is. It's not. We're doing four-side trimming. We're able to cut sheets which you couldn't gang for your guillotine. So yes, there's new products that you can use with this sort of thing, but it's doing what you do already faster in many ways. Your turnaround's quicker, and you're not having outgoing costs for dyes and things like that. So yes, I believe one of the current trends is laser cutting. I don't like being thought of as a trend, but it's something that we've been doing.
I'm a trend. You could be a trend.
Yeah,
we're trending
for many years. I see a lot of things out there with the added value pieces, which are coatings and things like that with different companies, and raising it up and taking it down and doing all of that. And yes, they're great and wonderful things. They look beautiful. But without a market and without having those, having that in your, if you don't currently do that and you're making money, you can make money by streamlining your workflow, and you can increase your profits that way. Not every printer is going to have all of the added value pieces. So I think it's a case of choosing the one that you can sell. And I think that's the key thing.
Thanks. Ellen?
I think also a big part of it is what your budget is and knowing what you can purchase. You're at a show that has so many different avenues for you to look at. It would be in your best interest to get enough education on all of the equipment that's here and decide what would fit best into your portfolio of your customers, what you can handle, what would be the easiest thing for you to do, and maybe not have to expand your space. Something that can fit on top of something or next to something or be part of something.
That's a great point.
You have to know what your limitations are, what your budget's going to be, and decide what's going to be for you. And you can, if you ask your customers what they want, sometimes you may not be able to do what they want, or you can find a way to use a piece of equipment to create something, whether it be my foiling equipment or the laser equipment or any of the other equipment here. But again, you have to decide how much money you want to spend to change up things.
Ken, we'll hear from you, and then I'll ask one final question, unless you have another question after. Okay.
Thanks. To make it short and sweet. Everything else has been set up here. I think the value add and the focusing on what you could do best, that is not just a duplication of what everyone else is doing for a smaller price. Really being able to focus in and say, I can offer something that is really not available in my area, that is seen as a value add, and I can focus in on how I can get a better profit from that for my clients and offer a better product. Really is that learning, understanding, and then looking at what my expertise is and trying to hone that down and add a little more value to it.
Thanks so much. So this panel is called the In-House Advantage, upping your game with finishing. So This is the last question. We'll start with Carl, actually, and we'll come down. And then after you answer, please just let people know how they can get in touch with you. So from your perspective, in a purely evangelical versus product sense, in other words, don't talk about your personal products and services, make a case to commercial printers to bring all their finishing in-house. You can, you know, I mean, you can.
In what state? Because depending on the gas prices.
Oh, that's true.
So, well, you lose some control when you send work out as a commercial printer. You send it to a finisher. You put it on a truck. You get it on a pallet. You put it on a truck. You get it to them. They promise a date. They might be late. They truck it back, and some customers are not, strategically located in reference to the finishers. You should have some finishing capacity in your plant. I would not recommend maybe going full blown unless you have the square footage and the resources and the capital and the growth pattern that engages that, move. I would strongly recommend that you pick your most common pieces that you do over and over, and you finish those. Start with those. It's really simple. This is not a complicated process. You look at where you're spending the most money, and then you do it in-house. And it's going to work out. It's going to grow, and it's going to evolve. When you bring those employees on that finish a certain piece, a certain product, they're also going to be able to grow with you and bring on additional pieces. And if you do it right, you will make good decisions, and I think you'll have better control over your product.
Thanks so much, Carl. And where is Mold Brothers? And what at the booth? Which booth?
We're in booth 3608. We have several machines running right now, various commercial printing material, and also some package folding gluing. You can reach us at mallbrothers.com. We have a very extensive video library, gives you some ideas, and but plan to stay on our website for about a half an hour because the videos really pull you in.
And it's brand new. I love it. It's new. I like it.
Very, very good.
Pitney Bowes, thank you so much for joining us. Pitney Bowes, make a case to commercial printers to bring all their finishing in-house, or as much of it as possible.
Well, I'm sure, you know what, I'm not sure I would recommend that, to be honest with you.
Good. I don't like when
I'm not sure I
everyone agrees
would,
with me.
because it's always, when you're in that business, you need to assess the job where you make money. To make revenue is great. To make a profit and turn a profit, you need to be careful. A lot of, and I see in our industry, a lot of people tend to do the things the way they do it because they've done it that way for years. Technology evolves, your volume changed. What used to be your core product may be now a small portion of your revenue stream. My recommendation is continue on an annual base, just to do a profitability analysis without going in gory details. Just make sure that the stuff you make money on, you keep them in-house and try to improve the margin. The stuff that kind of are disruptive, maybe you want to push that out, and maybe you want to stop to bid on them as well. And it's true for pretty much every finishing stuff that is being out there, including insertion, including cutting offline or printing offline, you name it. I mean, it just needs to make good business sense. And to bring everything in-house maybe is not the right solution for everything.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And
so we're Pitney Bowes. We're booth 848. I say that because I'm going to get in trouble in a minute if I don't.
Mariford will let you know.
You can visit us at pb.com. We have a lot of solutions on our booth. We have some of them got awards, the Must See Them Awards. One of them is my baby, so come and see it. It's called the Epic, and I wish you a good day all.
Thank you so much. Sean, Motion Cutter?
I think the ideal would be to have all finishing in-house. That would give us all control over what we're doing, and the standard of the work that's being done, we can control that. But Is it realistic? No. We can't all afford to buy every single piece of finishing equipment. The ones there's so many different types of printers, one-stop shops. You need an awful lot of finishing equipment to be able to do all the things that you're offering your customers. But the majority of commercial printers that I know, I started working in alliances with other printers. So maybe one has got a motion cutter, a laser system, another one has got a digital foiling system, or some way of doing raised UV varnish or whatever. And so they're sharing that work between them. That isn't always practicable because everybody is worried about competition and somebody's going to steal something away. But it's a way that we in our print house, we like to work. We no longer do offset. So we send all of our offset out to a partner. We do all of their digital. So when it comes to the finishing side, we do all of their laser cutting for them. They do all of our foiling. So if you're unable to have all of the things that you need, talk to the other printers. See if you can, the ones that you feel that you're able to work with, and see if you can bring that within your own group or alliance. And then you're all making money.
Thank you so much, and thanks again for joining us. Kent? Oh, sorry. Oh, yes, where are you? What's your website?
And by the way, you'll be able to find me on booth 354, which is on the back wall over there, and I'm showing some videos of our system running and some gorgeous samples from our one of my customers, actually, who's from Arkansas Graphics, who's here showing all the work that they've done in the past year.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Kent, Fastbind.
Thank you. So one of the things that you'll find in this business is there's so much options, so many things to do, it's really hard to pin them down. But there is one trend that's absolutely sure, and that is that customers' expectations are that your runs can be short, they can be quick, and they be delivered in a single day. They're watching TV, FedEx says they can do it, so why can't you? So one of the things, and it actually has been said a few times here, is to find the alliances and be able to handle the options that they're throwing at you. And specifically in the book business, it's a little easier. You can look and say, well, if I bring in book binding and finishing in-house, I can handle up to a certain level. But past that level, I do have options, which are the trade binderies, which don't like to do short runs. So I don't lose out by bringing in a short run. What I don't do is say no. Okay, saying no to the clients now gets them to move across to someone else, but they may take your regular business with them. So their expectations of what you can deliver may not meet what you can, but that's one of the things. You need to preserve the clients that you have that are doing the majority of their business with you, even if they're asking for things that you really don't specialize in. So you can take a short run option in-house, but always have an option of being able to take the bigger orders, move them out to a finisher or a trade bindery or some other partner, and which allows you to handle both sides and not say no just because you can't or don't want to do a short run for your clients. All right, Fastbind, we're out in booth 554 on the right side in the back. You can find us at fastbind.com and fastbindusa.com. Please give us a call, a tweet, or an email if we can help you at all. We'd be proud to.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for your support over the years. Ellen for Alicia Manning.
The reason that cold foil has become a new great thing to have is because you can bring it in-house. For many years, commercial printers have sent their foil work out, and these printers now decided they wanted to bring it in-house and open up new markets for themselves. So having a cold foil in-house is a way for them to make more money, to keep control of their product, to actually lower the cost because there's no cost for dyes and no cost for multiple different color foils. It's all done with one color foil. And it will open up new markets. But again, for bringing that in-house, you have to have the right equipment for it. So like all of these gentlemen have said, you have to decide what you can bring in-house and what you have to join an alliance, let's say, with somebody else. Not everything works for every single printer. We are Eagle Systems, and we're at booth 3002. And if you wish to stop by and actually see samples of cold foil and what it does for the product, please do stop by.
Thank you so much, Ellen, and thank you for your support over the years. We've been together for a long time. Johnny P. Adfos.
All right, thank you so much, Deborah. You know, just to reiterate what some of my other colleagues said, particularly Mr. Adele, and what I was talking about before is education. You know, a lot of times, like you said, it doesn't make sense to bring it in-house. You know, for a variety of reasons. So relationships. You know, business is still about, and thankfully will always be about, relationships, and to educate yourself. You know, and you know, you asked before, and I know you were joking around, I think, about mailing, and mailing is finishing. That is part of what it does.
No, that's totally true. Yeah.
And so
never thought of it.
Right,
Yeah.
and I've seen so many companies who will. You know, they really don't take the time and do the due diligence to educate themselves. I've seen countless printers, you know, think, oh, I can do that. And then they bring it in-house, and then it's like, oh, I'm dealing with the United States Postal Service. I wasn't quite expecting some of these things that I'm running into. So, you know, knowing, talking, belonging to associations, and really just educating yourself before you bring something in-house so that you really, really, really know what you're going to get yourself into. So Adfos, again, we're at booth 2348, and also you can reach us at adfos.com, also at Adfos for Twitter, or you can see a lot of our partners here, MCS, DDS, and Screen has some of our technology in their booths where you can actually see it live and in action. But also we have some at our booth too.
Thanks so much. And I'd just like to add, as a professional print customer for over 25 years in advertising agencies and corporate in-house marketing departments, that sending your finishing out costs me time. And I'm willing to pay more for a shorter amount of time if I need it at a certain time. And time is sometimes the factor of why we choose an estimate. This person can get me back at this time and it's not going to cost me extra in shipping because you can just do it faster. Anytime I would hear foil or die cutting, I would think, geez, I got to add a week to my time here. I'm just saying, you know, that's the way, you know, people kind of think about it. So certainly the technologies of the people on this panel are very important. They aid in speed to market, quite frankly. And in this instant gratification world, it is very important that you're not only best, but you're first. And that doesn't mean the lowest price. It means the best service to what the needs are of your client. And a lot of times, that extra day to get a disc or get a file or to get your printed piece back or shipped where it needs to be is the thing that sets you apart. So thank you guys so much, and lovely for Alicia, for joining us today. This was the last panel today on Girls Who Print Day. Hello back there, waving person. Thank you to Mary Beth Smith for lovely Girls Who Print Day. Sandy has been manning the Twitter 1 and 2 all day. We have Mandy on the camera. We've got Jack on the, well, we have Mandy on the video camera, Jack on the regular digital camera. My mom, Lady Scan-A-Lot, is back there. I'm sure she's all scanned you. And Andy is talking to somebody, but he is working with us too. Jamie the printer, can't forget about you. Thanks for a fantastic day, everybody. What is our scan count? We've had over 1,300 unique people come into this booth to listen to our education. We are only providing education in this booth in a way that is being absorbed by the community because we're talking to them about the things that they care about, because I'm asking them what they care about instead of us deciding what they care about. So it's working, people. Thank you, everyone. Fantastic day. See you all tomorrow.